All right, so we are going to this meeting. Hello, everyone. Let me just start with introducing myself here so you can see my face. You probably don't even see my face at this point. Hi, I am Ebba P. Karlsson. I'm changing my name, so it's going to be Ebba Bonell in honor of my mom, in honor of France, in honor of my love for that region, L'Occitan, and my heritage and my mother's heritage. So that's coming up. But hi, everybody. Welcome to this seminar, this webinar called The Way of the Rose. This is a sacred journey we're going to take you on. And here with me today, I have Megan Norton, who is the a travel advisor, but she's also a event planner, and she's helping us out to she will be helping you out also with your trips if you need help with that, your tickets and stuff like that. And of course, I have lovely Angelique Peigne, my best friend in France. She's going to introduce herself a little ahead in this webinar that we're starting. So for you guys that couldn't show up in time, don't worry. This is, as I said, a recording that you can watch later on as well. Here we go. So now we're going to take you on the way of the rose. This is a sacred journey into divine union and soul remembrance in the mystical heart of France. And it's happening now, July 10th to the 18th, 2025. And so, welcome again. We are so glad you are here, taking time to listen to us and opening this door to yourself through joining this opportunity. In the next hour, we're going to create some magic together. This is just a photo of me and Angelique in Paris. So if you don't know me yet, you probably do, but if you don't, I have a long list of things I can share. This is just some of the things. I have 40 years of devotion to meditation, spiritual practice, and holistic healing arts. I have 30 years of mastery, personal leadership, energy medicine, and ancient wisdom teachings. I'm also a certified Osho therapist. Osho is the old guru you might have seen and heard of, and a transformational coaching guide. I'm certified by the International Coaching Federation and also a certified life coach by Quantum Success Coaching Academy. 2017, I founded True Star Coaching, which is really all about becoming the true star in yourself, listening and emphasizing the guidance within you that you're born with and being led by that true star within yourself. So that's leading to the True Star Academy, which is going to be more deep sacred wisdom work on yourself and more like a school and a training. And now we also launched the True Star Retreats, which is this is the third retreat or sacred journey that we're doing, and this is called The Way of the Rose. I'm also an author, spiritual guide teacher, and author of True Starlight, which was my first book that I wrote, From Living in the Shadows to Being Stellar. And yeah, so facilitator of soul awakening, personal rebirth, and alignment with your stellar self. But now I have the pleasure to introduce to you, so my beautiful friend Angelique Peigne. So if you can mute yourself, please, and please share a little bit about your own journey, who you are, what brought you to the sacred lands of yeah, just tell us a little bit about you, please.
So yes, my name is Angelique. I do live in Rennes-le-Château, right by the Mary Magdalene church. I became the unforeseen custodian of this house, house temple there. And the way I landed there was following the ley lines and the calling of the land. So one of my specialty is to work with the land to birth, rebirth, nurture sacred sites. And a lot of them are not known. A lot of them, and some others are most known by people. So for those later one, it's about bringing back nurturing to the sites. So this is my primary, I would say, expertise about working and helping people, helping the sites and helping people rebirth through the sites. And this is how I ended up in Rennes-le-Château, not even wanting to live here. But sometimes destiny has a bit of a bigger plan for yourself. And that's a longer story that I will share if you come in the group with us.
Wonderful.
But yes, just to give a bit of a background, I know Ebba listed a few things on the energetics and esoteric side. So I'm primarily a healer. And through that, then entered in the codes of creation through different lineages. So Rose being one, Dove being another one, and by my own heritage, which is Celtic. So, but that doesn't really matter because what we do here in the retreat is about the heart, and it's the opening of the heart, and that is for both men and women as the way of creation of life and harmony. So that's a bit about my background. And just to have a bit of a snippet of my prior life before that, I do have 17 years in cooperation with a lot in the mail industry, cars and petrol, just to give a bit of a interesting spin on who or what I do. And when I was there, as part of my last job, I was as well bringing innovation. So when we speak about codes of creation or creatrix or alchemy, it's in all the spheres. It's not only as you are on your path of awakening, it's how do you embody that in business, at home, in your own evolution. And so this is what I've been applying. So for both big businesses or smaller ones, for personal rebirth, and as well for fertility, for helping people conceive and couples conceive in a different way. So that's just a short introduction. If you want to know more, we'll have the full leisure to develop later on.
Thank you so much for that. It was excellent. And so many, you're like a book unfolding constantly. So it's very fun. All right, my dear friends, thank you so much for that. We're continuing. So the way of the rose, it's really an ancient mystical path of divine remembrance, inner alchemy, and soul serenity. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. What is the way of the rose? Some of you might have heard about it, and some of you have not heard about it. But it's really several different things we can say. It's Gnostic. It's like the old hidden wisdom. It's esoteric. It's the modern mystical tradition. It's all about the story about Mary Magdalene, not only seen as the historical figure, but as an embodiment of the divine feminine wisdom. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mary Magdalene and also the rose. And the rose is a symbol of the feminine Christ. It's the Christ within ourselves that leads to the sacred union and the unfolding of your soul's deepest truth. Each petal reveals another layer of who you truly are, whole, radiant, and divine. So in the Gnostics text, the scriptures that's been found in Egypt, the Nag Hammadi and the Qumran, there we can find lineages of their scenes and the Gospels of Mary. And Mary being portrayed as the one who truly understood the teachings of Christ, and that she was, as some say and believe, Jesus Christ's wife, even, and even the mother of his children. And so, of course, these are things that have been discussed for I was going to say thousands of years, but it is truly a couple of thousand years now. But in at core, the way of the rose is really reclaiming the sacred feminine and mystical wisdom that have been marginalized by the patriarchal structure. So we can also call the feminine, this lineage, this rose, it's the Sophia, it's the wisdom principle. It's the initiation and inner revelation. So, yeah, here's a beautiful image of our one of the female aspects, I should say, Mary. Well, we all know that there are many female aspects and goddesses that represent the same energy. And during the training, we're gonna work with these energies as we are in the land of Mary, and you'll understand the whole reason why she came there in the first place, or what the legend says, but that the legend also goes deeper beyond the Christian beliefs in the Celtic beliefs. That's something that Angelique will talk more about. But this is, as I said, um, all about the frequency of Mary Magdalene. And the legend goes that she carried with her the frequency of the red rose, which symbolizes unconditional love, passion, and sacred sexuality. So that's a little bit about that, but we're also going to touch on the Cathars. Who were the Cathars? You're going to go to these sacred places where they had their where they lived, where they had their last fortress, and experience what they experienced. These were the pure ones. These were the people, the pre-Christians, who honored love as their religion and also were the guardians of the feminine mysteries. So we can say that Essenes, the ancient Essenes, the wisdom of them were transferred to the Cathars through the Bogomils, and we are gonna learn about, as you come to France, you'll learn more about what they were teaching, how they lived, and so on, and then get to experience and feel the energy of these mystical places. And here is just a photo of me and Angelique with the last two real Cathars. I don't know. Do you want to say something about them, Angelique?
Well, he passed away, so we won't be able to meet him. But yes, it's when Ebba and I first met, and we met actually in this land. And he had scribed on the paper that you can see on the wall some of the teachings. What you need to know is the Cathar, there's no write-ups left from that time. Most has been destroyed, and a lot of the transmission have been done orally. So it's been a big task for them to gather some information together. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a castle that we were gonna go to so you can feel the energy in this beautiful place called Pruvert. All right, so moving on. Of course, we can't go to this region without talking about the Knights Templar. Who were they, and what was their mission? And I believe many are coming back there to reawaken the sacred feminine within and being, releasing the hidden wisdom. As we can see, it's all coming out in many, many different ways. And we will for sure talk about who they were, as they were the guardians of the Grail, the sacred feminine. We're going to talk about the Grail. You will learn about that. You'll understand the Gnostic influence of the Templars, what happened to them, how did they survive. We'll talk about the Rosicrucians, the rose in the temple. And so you learn a lot about what they actually did in this region. We're even going to visit some of their castles. So again, we are going back to the sacred pilgrimage. So, what awaits you on this journey? So, we have, of course, the Magdalene lineage and its deeply healing mysteries, the Cathar wisdom of unity, light, and divine love, the energetic portals of the sacred sites that we will visit, and you will discover your soul's divine blueprint. Exciting, right? So, moving forward, sacred experiences that we will do include daily spiritual teachings and rituals. The visits to these sacred sites, and I'll go into more detail what they will be, deep inner work and activation, nourishing food and beautiful surroundings, soulful sister and brotherhood connection. So, walking the way of the rose will be embodying divine union and reconnect to the sacred wisdom within. This is the goal that we are all on the path of doing. And so, why are we doing this? I mean, it's because we are in the time now in humanity. We're coming to an end of the age of Pisces, and we're all really in the age of Aquarius. We have recently 5 planets that moved from big positions. We haven't seen this in hundreds of years. It's all new to us, but now is the time to change and shift and truly awaken and deepening this connection to who you truly are, your divine feminine masculine self, and create that union within your grail, awakening that so that we can become the Christ consciousness on planet Earth, become the living Christ. So, what makes this journey unique is that this will be a close knit group capped by 12 participants. We will have daily themes and rituals aligned with each chakra energies. And so we'll go through the journey of our chakras, the journey of our body, mind, and soul. And this will be guided and led by me and Angelique. And the places we'll go to will resonate in this vibration. You will also get a private van to go in and to go to these hidden places and hidden gems and experience to sit in these places yourself. It's truly a customized healing and transformative experience that you will experience on this trip. So it's all about reconnecting the forgotten parts of yourself and walking in the footsteps of those who came before you and experience deep release and renewal, reigniting the sense of adventure, magic, and wonder. So this is how the days will kind of look like. We'll wake up not too late and not too early, and we'll have like a little gentle yoga, some meditation, a little sharing circle. Of course, we'll have a delicious breakfast, and maybe we'll do like a workshop after that, or we'll go straight to excursion. We don't want to be bound by too much structure. We want to flow, but have an idea and an intention what we're doing during these days. We'll go to these sacred sites. We'll have lunch somewhere, maybe a picnic or at a very nice restaurant. And we'll create time for both rest, journaling, maybe even a massage here and there, swim in the pool. And then, of course, dinner time most likely will be at where we're staying, unless we choose to change our schedules and have dinner at in a village or somewhere. But we'll always have like a ceremony and a closing sharing circle. Angelique, if you have any feedback, please feel free to jump in and add or stop me. Just saying.
Yes. So I think you're going to talk about it later, but the place where you are going to stay, the lady who's doing the
Yes.
cooking.
Yeah, we're coming to there. Mm-hmm.
Very heartwarming cooking
Yes.
and
Yeah,
vegetarian, I think.
yeah, let's talk about it.
Um,
So this
but
is
we might
lovely.
have some dish we need to, yeah.
Yeah, I actually noticed I
Oh,
wrote
this is
it
perfect.
wrong.
Les Marguerites.
Yeah, so this is what
Yes, Les Marguerites.
it's Les Marguerites. So I wrote it like one, but it's actually Marguerite is flowers. The flowers, I don't know the English name, right? But the Marguerites maybe. I don't know.
Marguerite, it's big daisies.
Yeah,
They're
big
big
daisies.
daisies.
Daisies, exactly. So we have 9 days and 8 nights at this beautiful place that's going to be our sacred abode, our sacred home,
And
our temple.
there's a swimming pool there.
Yep. And there's a
I said there's
swimming
a
pool.
swimming pool.
Yes. And there's a beautiful garden, I've heard, and a yoga, like a little yoga place there. So we're going to do really make sure that we get time to relax and enjoy nature, doing lots of grounding and in nature as well. Of course, twice a day we'll have breakfast and dinner, daily gourmet meals, vegetarian. If you like to add wine to that, you can, and we can talk more about that, but we'll make sure you get a healthy breakfast. And of course, the delicious French food we can't stop having. We just need to have them when we're there. So, of course, then we'll have plenty of space and we have luxury rooms depending on how many we'll become or how many we are. There's potential to have your own room for a little extra money. You can have that, but we can go into detail with sleeping arrangements later on. So, by the way, did you want to say anything more about the place and who where we're staying, Angelique, or the food or anything?
No, I know. Well, the food, I've tried it several times. So Antoinette, who is going to be the host, is just pouring so much love into it. And she hosts, many groups. She has a very heartwarming presence, like proper mother energy. They've been living for quite a long time in Alet-les-Bains, so they are British. But she just embodied the French way so beautifully. And originally, before actually hosting, she was in the business of restoration. Okay, so food is her primary
Yeah,
um,
wonderful. Hmm.
expertise. Yes. So at least for the place to stay, sleep, rest, and food, this is a very, very, very lovely experience that you will have there.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I can't wait. It looks so delicious. All right, so we're moving on to, of course, everybody wants to know where we're going, what sacred sites are we going? And this is something that I think both me and Angelique feel like we want to let that evolve. We've seen before that we've had big plans to go everywhere, and we also have to admit that it can be tiring to travel around, to hike around, especially in the summertime when it's hot, and you're also working on yourself. So we want to be mindful um, of not promising too much. We want to be gentle and make this the most amazing trip as possible. But we also want to know if there's a specific sacred site that you just are dying to see. So if you can let us know as soon as possible, whether it's, here in the chat or online, just sending a text or an email, letting us know. The idea is that we go to places that correspond to each chakra, each theme of the day. So of course, we have Rennes-le-Château, Montségur, Rennes-le-Bain with the Isis chair here. We see lovely Angelique in that famous throne of Isis, and it's just a beautiful experience. And we will talk more about this, what this really is and what it was made for. Do you want to say anything about this?
Yes. So
Yeah.
just about the sites, we have there's a schedule. There's a schedule and where we have, some main sites. And why, Ebba has been mentioning that is because there's a lot of expectation when people come in those trips. And, I've been hosting a lot of retreats here of a lot of different groups because actually, if they don't hire me for the entire retreat, I will be part of their schedule for the day of Rennes-le-Château. So I got to meet a lot of groups here. And um, so you have the groups that tick boxes to go to sites, and you have the type of groups that actually have the support of the sites to support the inner evolution and transformation. So we're more in the second category. We're not ticking the boxes. We're just ensuring that you are the best look after in the journey that you're going to take. Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to the south of France, I'm going to walk in the path of Mary Magdalene, going to be fun, just want to go to all the sites. But they don't realize the impact on their energetic field and the impact of what's moving through them as your journey each day. Okay. So
Yeah,
we've got the key ones covered. Plus, I have some that we won't be mentioning because we don't want, you've seen there's a lot of Magdalene trips in the south of France, and there's some sites that we don't want, I don't want to be advertised. So we'll go during the week there.
thank you so
But
much.
as
Yeah.
Ebba mentioned, if there are some that really, really deeply call you in your inner belly, let us know so that we want to make sure, depending on the constellation of the group that's coming, that we take your need into account.
Yeah, thank you so much. Of course, Montsegur, the last fortress of the Cathars. It's what we're going to visit, and walking up there for the sunrise will be something that is so amazing. The last stronghold, and we'll talk more about that. We have also the Bethlehem Grotto, where initiation was taking place by the Cathars. And so there are many caves and many different kinds of caves we can visit, but this is one of them. Do you want to talk some about this one briefly?
Well, I'm not going to give too much details because it's important to give those details when we are in the grotto itself. But it is said that this is where you can experience a deep part of what the process was about consagramentum, which is the latest ritual that they took before going in the fire. So now it's more, this would be more as a deeper, higher connection to the heart and higher and God. But it's a very, very special and sacred place, this cave. Yeah.
Mm. It's the cave for the divine union as well, right? Mhm. Yeah. All right. So going on, yeah, Rennes-le-Château. This is the old Roman baths. Beautiful structure. And of course, we'll always love going to this beautiful labyrinth in the nebulous forest that is so magical. And I think we've gotten lost there a few times, haven't we?
I think the first time Eba and I went there, we spent 5 hours.
Oh, that is
Like,
such a magical place.
where is the exit? And hopefully at one point we ended up just before night was falling on actually a custodian of this place who has been supporting and creating for decades, actually. He just showed our way back. So that was
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was lucky. Otherwise, we would have had to sleep in the forest.
But this forest is just so beautiful, so unique. Um, you can feel that the veil with the other world is so thin. It's full of Elvinic energies. So, yes, it's quite a special place.
Yes, truly is. All right. And I put Carcassonne here because, of course, we want to go to some more places, and maybe there are some little shopping we want to do, maybe in Foix or Carcassonne or somewhere. But I put this up there so that you know there will be also room for a little bit of touristic sightseeing and shopping as well. And then now we're moving into what we're going to explore. We talked a lot about it now, but here's just a little bit more about the divine union within. That's what we will talk about and work with the sacred feminine and masculine wisdom, past life and soul remembrance, energetic initiations and healing, embodiment of your soul's blueprint. And so other things that we are teaching is, of course, the ancient wisdom from the Essenes, from Egypt. Maybe Angelique will tap into the Celtic traditions, but we'll definitely do breath work, channeled messages. I'm going to bring the Egyptian initiation oils, the crystals. We'll bring down light codes, transmissions, and then sound bowls and sound healing for our ceremonies and rituals. We'll do sacred circles of sharing and journaling, and of course, relaxing, recharging, realigning as much as possible in this loving community that we're creating, safe. And of course, we got to do some dancing and grounding and earthing barefoot in the woods with clothes on or without clothes on. I don't care, just as long as you celebrate life in your best way possible. And also using this time for tranquility, for deep reflection in the temples, within your own temple, and in the all the temples that are outside in nature, in churches, and the Mary Magdalene temples. We will have some plant medicine ceremonies, blue lotus, cacao, maybe something else. We will see. And of course, yoga and meditation will be essential. It will be light yoga, and every morning we'll start with that, just realignments. And after this trip, what will you take home with you is this deep soul remembrance, the energetic integration of sacred teachings, embodied clarity and personal transformation, and feeling aligned in mind, body, and soul. And you'll also get some gifts from the True Star Shop, of course. So we've got to make it clear that this is a trip that is not for somebody who's expecting the touristic trip of sightseeing alone. We are looking for people who are already on the path of awakening and want to deepen their spiritual work. Um, and so people who are joining should be on the path of willingness to do this transformational work and believe, of course, in the divine energy. And so leaving the limiting beliefs, fear, and victimhood at home. And we invite people who really are interested in the Mary Magdalene, the truth about the truth overall about where we came from and what are these concepts of the way of the rose, the Essenes, the Cathars, the Holy Grail, and are ready to release what no longer serves them, but are ready to step into higher vibration. And you also want to reconnect with the divine essence and activate the soul, your soul's highest potential. So yes, so this is for for who it's for. And you should also be ready to hike. We do hike a lot. We walk and we climb and we crawl in caves. So it's important that you are pretty fit. This is, of course, optional. So you can't always stay back if you can't do it and you don't want to do it. We've had that happen before, and that's not a problem at all. Angelique, anything you want to add to this part?
A lot of people ask about, how fit. Yes, as you mentioned, so there's a few hikes. So we walk pretty much every day. So if walking is really an issue, then, you might want to reconsider and there might be one or two big hikes. That said, one, people can still get the energy of the bottom. And up to now, I've always managed to bring everybody up, no matter their condition.
Yeah.
But we take our time. It's part of the journey. And but yes, we'll be will be walking.
Mm.
It's everything is doable. If you have a scale from 0 to 10, and 10 being the big, you know, mountain like Mount Shasta, which would be Bugarash here. So let's say, with your own time, Bugarash would be a 7. Probably the other sites, are around 3 or 4, around that. But, you still have to go for a good 20 to 30 minutes up and down, and we have to put the factor of heat, which we don't know what the weather is going to be like. So we'll be very, mindful and careful, and we'll have. So for the ones who want to bring their walking sticks, please do so. I usually have wood sticks because it's very supportive. But then that will go into the details that we will share for the logistics.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So, beloved friends, we're coming to an end here soon. So letting you know that if you want to sign up today or before the 15th, we're going to offer a 20% off. And we can also offer a personal call if you have any questions. So let's look at what's really included in this. So we talked about 9 days and 8 nights at look, I wrote it right here, Les Marguerites. And 2 daily gourmet meals. We have all the sacred sites, pilgrimages, and excursions, and the transformational workshops and ceremonies, and all that's what's included with them. Transportation to and from the airport and all around during the retreat. Of course, the place in itself, the rest integration. We are also doing a retreat workbook, and you will get keepsake gifts. And the best of all, that's going to last forever, is the heart-centered community. So the investment in this amazing transformation is this early bird special where you can save $1,350 if you decide to join now. For double occupancy, it is 5,250, and single, it's 5,850. And if you know that you want to do this, um, you got to put in the deposit as soon as possible for 1,500. And but there are also payment plans available. So if you feel like it's going to be too much to share one payment, don't be afraid because we can work with you. The most important thing is we got to claim your spot before it's gone. So some other things that we threw in to make this amazing even better is the sacred preparation guide. You will get a not only what to pack and stuff like that guidebook, but also um, a spiritual guidebook that I have been preparing for a while. You will, of course, have the replay to this webinar. We're offering you one-on-one quantum mechanics therapy session where you can have your reading of where you're at, what's deficient in your body. That's a one-on-one session that I will take you through and explain how it works. Some of you have tried that before. So you'll also get to be harmonized. And then we're going to do a post-retreat integration circle online after the retreat. And we'll have also offer you some discounts on future retreats or private sessions, as well as the True Star gift bag, but I won't tell you what that is because that's obviously a surprise. So, my dear friends, final invitation. If you feel in your heart, and just close your heart for a moment, you know if this is for you, if the rose is calling, and if you're ready to walk this sacred path. And if it's not this time, who knows? It might be another time, but definitely this is the opportunity to go for it right now. I just put some information here about the cancellation policy. I think it's important that you know that the deposit is non-refundable once that is done because we're so close to the actual date. and the final payment will be done by June 1st, unless there's a specific case where we got to work with a payment plan. But cancellations made cannot, we're so close to this date, so we cannot do any cancellations before May 15th. And you will risk your money if you sign up after the 15th. So I don't know if there's anything else here, but I can tell you that all the information that you might want to get is you can find that in your on the actual TrueStar website, the truestarretreats.com website. And if you have any questions or that you're thinking about after this, you can send them to ebba@truestarcoaching.com. It should be, and I forgot the com there. I apologize. But let's see. I'm gonna stop sharing. Or do you want to put any questions right now? Should we just stop sharing the screen and go to questions if there are any questions? Otherwise, I will ask if there's anything else you want to add. Anybody? You can unmute yourself if so, if there's any questions or anything else you wanted to add or share.
I just want to say thank you for a beautiful presentation.
Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I am so honored that you took the time of your day and came and listened in. So with that, I'm gonna, I guess, exit the full screen here unless there's anything else. So go to truestarretreats.com or send me an email at ebba@truestarcoaching.com. And so exiting this screen, let's see if we can have your lovely faces on here. All right,
You need to
everybody.
stop sharing.
Oh, I did. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah,
There we go. Thank you so
stop
much.
sharing.
Nick,
Click on share.
you need to stop the recording as
Stop
well.
sharing.
All right, so we're stopping the recording. Also, did it stop by itself? Did I? No, here it is.